I'm Vardha Sharma, editor Newsband, daily English newspaper of Navi Mumbai. Today we have with us Captain Radhika Menon, who is captain at Synergy Ship Management. She had joined Indian Merchant Navy in 1991 as radio officer and later went on to become navigating officer. In fact, she has many firsts to her name. It will be very difficult to list all the awards and accolades that she has already received. I just mentioned some of them. She became the first female captain of the Indian Merchant Navy, who also led the oil products tanker Suvarna Swaraj. In 2016, she became the first woman to receive the International Maritime Organization Award for exceptional bravery at sea. This was received because in 2015 she had led a rescue operation at Bay of Bengal in which 7 fishermen who were stranded in a boat for 7 days were rescued by her. Then, in fact, she became the first Indian woman to command a foreign-owned merchant ship, and in 2018 she also received First Woman Achievers Award by Honorable President of India. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Captain Radhika Menon. Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, Vardha, and I'm very thankful to you for having me on your show. We can go ahead with the question.
As usual, my first question, in fact, that would be the question of all the viewers who would be interested to know. Seafaring continues to be a male-dominated field even till date. Why and how did you decide to choose this as your career?
Actually, I was on the lookout for a profession which is quite different from the normal ones available to girls in 90s, 1990, 91, that era. And I was not interested into for doing a 9 to 5 job. So my quest for walking a different path led me to this radio officer's course, that is marine electronics, which I insisted at home that I want to do it and all that. And finally, my parents agreed, and I did it successfully. That landed me with a job at sea as a communication officer. I joined Shipping Corporation of India in 1991 as a trainee radio officer. At those times, it was only Shipping Corporation of India which was promoting women, and I was the first lady radio officer to join their fleet. That's how I began my journey into the shipping.
Challenges must have been immense, you must have faced lots of hardships.
Yes, of course. Challenges are many because it is quite, working on the ship is quite different from working ashore. Ashore, you put in few hours and then you go home, you are among your people. And even if you have an issue, you can talk it out at home and get ideas, recharge yourself and come back and all that. While out at sea, you are in a socially isolated atmosphere, and that atmosphere, majority are of the opposite gender. During my times, I have sailed as a single woman among 25 to 30 men on the ship. And then for your contract period of 6 to 9 months, you're totally on that ship throughout, and you're going wherever the ship goes. And since, as I said earlier, like it's a socially isolated atmosphere, and then there are people from various cultures, various mindsets, and various nationalities. So difficulties are manifold. And initially people they didn't accept me because it was like me venturing into their domain. And gradually the acceptance came as radio officer. Like doing the job is easier, tackling and handling mentalities, you need to be very careful. And out at sea, it's all a team that you should be able to deliver what you have studied. You should be able to execute. At the same time, you should be able to exist on board, handling all sorts of issues that come your way. For that,
Correct.
it's not very easy, but it is not difficult also.
Since 1991 till date, please tell us about your journey and how it has been throughout these years.
From, yes, 1991, I was a communication officer. I've had a lot of problems while serving on board, but I used to try to tackle the problem uh, quite nicely. Well, I try to think the source of the problem and try to tackle it. And very few I have taken to the company, or I had to take a step out of me. So the main idea was being the only female in the field. I did not even come home and say that I have these issues and this and that and all that. Why? Because then they will say, put a full stop to all this. There is no need for you to take hardship. Be at home, and that's the end of my ambition. So I did not do that. But what I found is when you think about the issues and try to solve those issues yourself, with each hurdle that you cross, you will be ready for the next hurdle. So then this problem tackling side of yours improves, and your abilities take a quantum leap. So 91, when I joined shipping after my work hours, I used to venture out to see what the other departments are doing and what is the profile of job and what needs to be studied and all in my free time. So I got interested in ship handling and navigation. So I was very fortunate in 1993, there came out a circular for radio officers to convert to navigating officers. So I applied to the company. Company agreed and allowed me to initiate the conversion. The major blockade was getting a permission from home. That is, I was married, so I have to seek my husband's permission, in-laws, and my parents and my siblings and all. They were all very much against it. They said, "You have done something different from the normal. That's fine. Now you've settled. That's fine. Now don't venture out to get into more trouble." Like that was. Then finally, with lot of negotiation and lot of pursuance, they too agreed for it. And then I began my journey of conversion, where I was an officer when I joined the Merchant Navy. I came down to the shelf of the trainee again, back again, and then climbed up ladders again. And I went through the regular competency exams like second mate, and then master's COC. And in the during this transition to I have faced a lot of hurdles in terms of getting uh, being blocked at every stage. Every stage, I have to reason out why I will not be allowed and why this and that. And there were times where I thought my certificate of competency, does it have any value at all? But then it is not that I was everybody was against woman empowerment. It is not like that. So in a cluster of people, some people do not like females venturing out and doing men's job. They don't want to see them there. But there are men who support the ideas also. Like I received support from a lot of people who believed in women empowerment, and they helped me in lot of ways. So everybody is not like that. So with uh, even though the transition was not smooth, uh, it was possible. And then in 2012, I took command of Suvarna Swaraj, an oil product tanker. And I'm very grateful to SCI that they gave me a tanker to command for the first time.
In fact, my next question is that because in 2012, you were given the charge to be the leader of oil tanker Swarna Swaraj, as you mentioned just now, which weighed about 21,827 tons. How was that? I mean, can you please tell us more about this?
No, that's actually so. That's only the tonnage of the ship. Actually, Suvarna was a product tanker, and I think that is a smaller ship I have done.
I
Suvarna and
see.
Sampurna of that. I have done bigger ships after that.
Okay.
So it is actually we all we are all trained for that competency level. So handling a ship is just like second nature to any navigator. So it was a good experience that I took command, and then on board I did not have any issue because people have seen me grow in the fleet. So when out at sea, there is one thing like if you know your job and if you can manage your job very well, then you have the respect of your colleagues, and then you are accepted. So I was in the SCI fleet for quite some time. So taking command, I did not have any resistance from any crew or officers. They all accepted me as their boss. Only I gave surprises to people when I called a port, when they ask for captain's name, a female's name come out, and then when they come, when the pilot boards to board the ship, then he goes and shake hands with my duty officer or somebody else because they're not used to having a female commandership. And later on, when they realize, they come back to me like, but that's all expected.
In 2016, you received award for exceptional bravery at sea. Can you please tell us about this? And also, if you remember any incident that you remember till date of that particular rescue operation.
Yes, in 2000, actually the rescue was carried out in the month of June in 2015. I was returning from Bajbaj, a port in West Bengal, going towards Vishakhapatnam. So the sea was very turbulent due to a very deep depression. We were traveling towards Bangladesh. So we were going against the bad weather. So my speed was, ship speed was, in the normal scene, it would have been around 12 to 13 knots. But here I was making only 3 to 2 knots because the waves were of height between 7 to 9 meter and 60 to 70 knots wind speed, thunder shower, rain, and everything you call it. We were having a tough time uh, as we left Sandheads. So I was on the bridge all through the night, and then in morning at around 9 o'clock, I decided to halt. When I was passing Odisha, I decided to alter the ship's course towards land a little bit to keep the depression on my port quarter. So, and as I finished doing that, and then the daylight was there, I told my second officer that I will go down, freshen up, and come back. When I went down about 11 o'clock, I must have gone down about 11, 12 or something. He gave me a call saying he's seeing a, black spot among tall waves. So when I came up and saw to the binoculars, I saw a boat without accommodation. The boats that normally fish in inland water, protected basin. I saw a child sitting on the deck of the boat and few others in the background waving for help. So then the realization hit me. There is this is a boat, and then there is lives on board, and that was the worst thing that could happen to uh, a boat. Is that boat was blown out of their basin by the storm depression, and it was traveling in the direction of the depression. That is, it was going opposite towards it with very good speed. So I did not get time to inform office or seek permission and all. I had to immediately decide on rescue itself. And then I discussed it with my ship team. They were all very accommodative. None of them refused to agree. Everybody was willing to go. And they were so brave. They went on the open deck in such a weather where there are possibilities of them getting washed over also, and put out the pilot ladder as instructed. And the first round we came about, gave shelter to the boat. We didn't get the boat. The lines that we passed broke, and the boat went towards my ship's stern that was near the propeller. I had to stop engine and wait for the boat to clear. The second round, I got two people. The third round, I got the remaining five. Totally seven people in the range between 15 to 55, 60 years were rescued. When they were brought up on the bridge, I asked the leader of the boat from what date they have been missing. So it was quite shocking to know they have been out at sea in the storm for 7 days without food and water. And they were taking shelter in the racks where they used to preserve the fish. And they survived these days having many near death situations. And they were licking on ice, which is used to preserve the fish for the water. And that is when I spotted them. So I told this person, you call up home and talk to your people. So when he called up home, it was another surprise that he just called in time to stop his funeral prayers. Like, since these guys were missing from the land for 7 days, and fishermen have a belief that if they are lost for more than 7 days, they won't come back. So all these seven houses were preparing for the last rites of these guys. So it was a very pleasant surprise for them. They were also overwhelmed and they couldn't believe these guys are alive and all that. So we took pictures of them and sent it to their homes. And my ship staff has been very kind to them. They donated clothes, then SIM cards and all. They took really good care of these people. And as we reached Vishakhapatnam, they were reunited with their families.
Uh, Captain Menon, you have also co-founded the International Women Seafarers Foundation, along with some of your fellow naval officers. We would like to know more about this foundation and also how many women have so far benefited through this foundation.
Yes, I co-founded the International Women Seafarers Foundation with my colleague Suniti Bala, who's the first woman chief engineer of Indian Merchant Navy, and Sharwani Mishra. She is also an engineer from the Indian Merchant Navy. So we co-founded this organization basically to help females exist on board and face all the challenges that comes with seafaring. We do carry out uh, in mentoring sessions for the females who want to join the shipping, where we give the correct know-how about what a person individual can expect in terms of atmosphere on board, in terms of the work that she has to perform, how she has to prepare herself to join Merchant Navy. And after joining Merchant Navy in any rank, like any problems faced by these females, we are always available for them and we help them solve those issues. And we also actually uh, have come out with policy guidelines for creating conducive work atmosphere for women on board, which was launched by Director General Shipping and Government of India. We are very thankful to him. This was one of the first of its kind. And we also help companies make guidelines for employing women on board. And we are present in 7 countries, and we have so far helped, I think it's more than about 1,000 female seafarers, and we intend to continue our good work for
Um,
the betterment of
what advice
the.
would you like to give to all those women who aspire to become, who aspire to join this as seafarers? And is there any special course or any training that they need to take for joining, merchant navy or any of the shipping?
Yes, for females who aspire to become seafarers, so I would say seafaring is not an easy profession, but it's not a difficult one. Now, with International Women Seafarer Foundation being there, you could contact us with any queries that we will be able to help you out and guide you. And we have our IWSF channel on the YouTube. You can see what qualification, what are the different posts on ship, and to choose when you choose what you can expect, what is the job profile and all that. Everything is there, in detail explained, so they can have a look at it. And if they have any queries, they can contact us also, or mail us on www.iwsf.co, trust@iwsf.co. They can ask us the queries also. So you don't have to fear whether you will be able to carry out or not. We are there to tell you what what is the job like, and what is the education that you should have, what you can expect. You get it. It is not like before, like you will not be jumping into a profession without knowing much about it. We will give you a very clear picture of what you can expect, and it's a conscious decision to be made whether you want to be a seafarer or not. And you really have to be very strong by mind and supported by family. Uh,
Before I
yeah.
conclude, one question that I would really be interested to know is that how do you balance both family? Because seafaring, as you said, is quite a difficult job and you are required to be away from home for many days altogether. So, how do you balance both family and, your life, professional life?
Actually, I'm married to an ex radio officer. So then my husband and in-laws are aware about this profession, and I have adjusted and planned it in such a way. When my son was small, I used to do the coastal tankers so that I could visit him. I have carried my family on board for vacation when the school closes and all that. So I've been able to balance very well. As I said, I had a good family support. So I've been able to, and now that my son is grown up, and I finished my responsibilities, most of it. So I'm free to. The best side of seafaring that I like is after the 4, 5, or 6 months that I do, when I am at home, I'm entirely here at home, and I don't. I actually hate to drive in traffic and stick to a time schedule with all that. So the worst part of seafaring is no 2 days are similar. Then scenarios might all of a sudden change. You'll find yourself battling against elements beyond your control, and those are the bad sides of seafaring. So what I would tell the girls who want to take the seafaring is that there is nothing to fear about coming into a male-dominated profession and things like that. Now there are guidelines, there are rules, there are organizations to help them. They have to make a conscious decision whether this is what they want to do. That's my problem.
Thank you so much, Captain Menon. And the viewers, please stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you very much.